Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 86. Let's jump into things. So, alright, the relatively unexciting turns continue, but that's okay. We're getting into the thick of some stuff in the near future. Blood Magic 7 has been completed, so this is cool. Potentially going to give us an into some blood options. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of not even a secondary or a tertiary scenario going on. It's just a little hobby in the background. More Kusarikus, blood slaves. Of course, a turn cannot go by without Nazar II being attacked. So let's see how this goes. It's another mind slime. I guess small blessings. Although these guys are dangerous, they could kill me. So he does try to paralyze us, but this time our Kusarikus come in and they are successful on the couple of initial attacks that they get, and boom. Very nice. Alright, we've got a couple of battles to watch. There's a battle in Trottern as Micklin, I guess, tried to... I don't know what the plan was here. But they go up against these vampires, and they're gonna die. These vampires are gonna kill the shit out of them. Yep. So, that's very interesting. We're gonna keep that in mind because we're moving. Turn. We got a battle in Range of Shadow, as we moved into Hinam's territory. Fortunately, I don't think this triggered gem usage. Pretty sure. Sweet. Okay. Range of Shadow, yep. All good. We've got a battle in Mirius as we raid forward. Strength of Gaia. We've got some slaves. Skin, Temper Flesh, Earth Power, Legions of Steel. This is... like, there's no way. I do not think it is possible for slaves to actually harm our Yeti man. Even if they had got like super exploding dice, they hit him like once, and then that would be it for the battle. So we win in Mirius. Nice. We attack in Terrace Peaks. Got Nishib versus some blood or some slaves who had no leadership. Gotcha. And then we attack in Holy See versus some Indies. This should be a easy victory. We got Summon Water Power and Living Water. Wrong. So the only potential issue, right, is people getting around the wall of water. Damn. That just fucking fatigues the shit out of them. But that many living waters gonna do the job. All right, we've got a couple of events. No tax in Feral Woods. In Belagor, there's a False Pretender. In Rim Mountains, we get +4 Earth Gems. In Woods of Many Path, we get Drain 2, Death 1, Misfortune 3, and an Air Gem. Deefa. Bad local lord. Deadly Diseases still in Troll Peaks. Troll Peaks is gonna have the scenario where it gets like the huge population kill here pretty shortly. One unit was cured of their disease, only actually they weren't cured of their disease, and that's very annoying. I don't know what's up with that, so we'll see how it goes. And we're losing people from diseases because, again, the Miracle Cure-All is not actually healing people. So All right, that's it for that. What's happening on the actual turn? We're continuing to raid forward with Isham 1 and Ishib 19. We're going to hit 98 and 103, Bakar and Swande. And this is just, you know, this is kind of just punitive, honestly. This is trying to do damage to Mictlan. Should Mictlan actually... So Mictlan is here, but not here, right? They haven't gone AI, and they keep taking turns on occasion, but they're not really doing anything with those turns. So I'm just trying to make it to where if they do pop back in, what they have available to them is lessened, basically. So just raiding what looks to be clearly like blood hunting provinces, doing what we can to deal with that. In fact, can I jump that? I can. I'm going to send Isham 1 against what feels like the harder province. We'll see how that goes. And then we're moving into Trottern this turn. Hopefully we won't run into any real issues. That many vampires. It's only one vampire lord, but it's like... It's... How many vampires? It's 14 vampires. Is probably going to be enough, unfortunately. It's probably going to be enough to trigger gem usage. I don't think it should be, but it probably is going to be. In which case, we have plenty of gem carriers traveling with us right now, right? A couple scouts, a couple of other individuals, chieftain. We're going to go ahead and bring in another one with a pair of the boots of the messenger, just to be safe, because I don't want to run up all the way to Mictlan and then be like, oh well, don't have any gems, I guess I'm fucked. Right, so we'll see how that goes. We're doing a little daisy chaining of elders to get some elders up here. We're actually recruiting some more elders in Pia. We are doing our little daisy chain efforts to get more spear guard into Silverfangs so that we can get the unrest cracking down there. I think we are getting pretty close. If we take a look, their patrol strength is 1.2, and we've got 23 of them. I don't think his patrol strength is much. Oh, it's 2.2, actually. He has higher patrol strength. Interesting. So we should be looking at about 30 or so patrol strength, I think. So Silverfangs has killed one brigand, which is not very much. But I'm hoping this turn, this is going to start decreasing slightly. But we'll see how it goes. Either way, we're continuing to ferry troops over towards Silverfang, and we're continuing to recruit troops in everywhere. We're recruiting troops, and you can see our income continues to skyrocket, right? But at the same time, our upkeep is getting higher and higher, right? We're kind of keeping pace with our income increase. So I think what we're going to try to do, for example, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get like a place like Hall Woods. We're going to get them to about 100 garrison, 100 strong garrison, because 100 strong garrison has siege defense of 1.1, right? So that's over 100 siege defense. So that should help in keeping some locations relatively safe. If you think about the amount of wall integrity that these places have, they've got 150. You add some siege defense into that, and it gets a little bit better, you know? So we're going to try to aim at kind of that. Plus, 100 troops or so is enough to pull from different locations and I think be okay. And then once we get to the point to where we've got those kind of like 100 garrison troops, then we're probably going to leave off. I say leave off, but really what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to start forming tertiary armies. So, speaking of tertiary armies, I say that. This is Army Group 1, Army Group 2, and this is now Army Group 3. So we are moving into Mag with the intention of attacking Jabal Kish next turn. So, we've got a big group of Gudus, Insis, Ishibs, Sea Sorks, Elshams, etc. all at the ready. We've got a little under 200 troops here, but we are bringing in 33 more Pegasus Riders, so we will be just over 200 troops. And this is going to have most of what we have access to. We're going to be throwing up Fog Warriors, Will of the Fates, Mass Regeneration, Relief, Serpent's Blessing. I don't think we have Foul Vapors in the mix. Unfortunately, we don't have a Foul Vapors caster here right now. We have more say that every time. Enkidu Shamans. But we are kind of waiting. These are part of the reason why our upkeep is skyrocketing, by the way. Did I make sure? Ooh, I did not recruit. I need to cancel something somewhere. We're going to cancel the ones in Perpina. And probably some of... Make sure I keep getting... basically, the goal is once we get Astral Corruption down, we're gonna do a sudden, like, transformation, and we're gonna try to turn all of these Eshams into valuable units, but we want to leave them in areas where they have a higher percentage chance. And right now, in Operi and in Assad, the Dominion there is actually still very high. We might have to move these Eshams over into Assad sooner rather than later. Operi seems to be diminishing faster than Assad is. But we want to get that area, we want to get these Eshams open and available. These will be some Foul Vapors casters, which isn't Foul Vapors isn't really a big deal at this point, but you know, it's kind of like if you go into like a big late game battle, throw out everything that you possibly can, because just one thing not being covered, right? If you go into a final battle and your opponent has everything up, but he doesn't put up Serpent's Blessing, then Foul Vapors might actually fuck him, you know? So it's a matter of covering all your bases. But also just having these Eshams as high nature casters or high earth casters is very important to us. And we've seen how efficient, I say efficient, he has yet to be challenged. He could be zapped by literally anyone. He only has 15 magic resistance. If anyone went Mine Hunt, he would die instantaneously. But we have ways of dealing with that. In fact, if I can ever get back to the point to where I am forging, I will probably pull him back to a safe location and kit him out with, instead of Bracers of Protection, I will probably put an Amulet of Anti-Magic on him, and instead of a green Dragon Scale Mail, I will probably put probably like Mirror Armor or something like that on. Yeah. Both good options. Anyways, we've seen kind of the efficacy of what we can get out of some of our transformation options. So we wanna get back to that point. Those are very good casters for us. Yeah. We are moving towards Jabal Kish. In Trackless Wastes, we have quite a few units at the ready, including quite a few Ishibs that I think are going to be a big deal, and we continue to ferry units away from Verdant Steppe. Again, I assume that if Mictlan comes back, he will probably attack Verdant Steppe. We'll see how it goes. I've reached out to Lanka to see if he will sell me or trade me Dragon Scale Mountains. If he's not willing to, I'm somewhat willing to trade him Verdant Steppe, truth be told. It's an incredibly wealthy province, but if it's way out in the middle of nowhere and it's a pain in the ass for me to protect, right, I'd trade it over for, like, you know, hey, I'm gonna take Javal Kish. Do you want Verdant Step? But we'll see how it goes. Moving on, Javal Kish. Lanka has reached out to me and said, hey, how do you feel about ganging up on Hinam? I feel great about ganging up on Hinam. Except, I don't feel like doing anything except killing Mictlan and getting Astral Corruption down. After Astral Corruption is down, I'm down with whatever. I don't care. I will do whatever. Astral Corruption has ruined the game for me. And again, I don't think it's Astral Corruption's fault necessarily, right? It's the fact that there's no fucking counterplay to it, right? When I thought, I'm sure people are bored of hearing this, but when I said at the very beginning, right, like Arcane Nexus versus Astral Corruption, I care less about Arcane Nexus, even though it's way more powerful, because it's behind the scenes and it doesn't directly fuck me. Astral Corruption directly fucks me. It is in my face. It is constantly making it difficult for me to do what it is I want to do or I find enjoyable, right? And there was this point where I was like, it's okay. I've got a plan. We're gonna work this out. It's gonna be okay. And then I've come to realize that plan just doesn't work. You know, it doesn't matter if you gear up your people and you get rings of warning and you get a bunch of bodyguards and etc., because you're just gonna get assaulted over and over and over and over and over again by increasingly more difficult enemies, and they're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill your bodyguards. They're gonna kill you. You're gonna lose those items, and the more you try to resist it, the worse it's gonna be, realistically. So the only counterplay to it is dispelling it, which we could try now. We have a much better astral income now than we did previously, but again, that goes back to that concept of like, it's way fucking easier to continuously put up blood enchantments. And, you know, like, do blood enchantments cost more? Yes, they do. Is it way fucking easier to get blood than it is other fucking... I am not a blood nation. I am not a blood nation. I have 2 guys blood hunting, and I got 16 blood slaves this turn. So 16 gems. Of course, that's not equivalent, though. I get that, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is that you can get with a... Take my Helheim game, for example. I have in a lot of those turns, I have like 5 people blood hunting. And they're bringing in 30, 40, 50 blood slaves. And they're blood 1s with sanguine dowsing rots. They're not even blood 3s, right? So, or blood 3 equivalents. So you can, and that's just 5. You can make a crazy amount of blood slaves. It's not a competition. So when you start getting into, oh, well, you can dispel it or stuff like that, no, you really can't. Like, you can, but it's never going to be an efficient trade. Even just 30 pearls, or what? I think Astral Corruption costs like 160 or something like that just to put up, right? Yeah, 166 blood slaves just to put up. But you know what? I think it's harder to get the 30 Astral Pearls than it is to get the 166 blood slaves. Like, if you had an income of 30 Astral Pearls, you're like, hot damn, that's a lot of Astral Pearls. If you have a hit income of 166 blood slaves, you're like, yeah, that's an okay blood economy, I guess. Like, it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. I kid. That's a little over the top. 166 blood slaves is a lot of blood slaves, but it just doesn't compute. It does not equate. So, that is pretty much it for the turn. I've done my required bitching about astral corruption. But yeah, we're moving into Mag in order to set up Jabal Kish. There are a couple of interesting things that I'm doing there, by the way. I am moving in our Into of the Moon. She is actually going to be, because right now we don't have a lot of Great Earth options, because we don't have any... we don't have any Earth Shaman. You know what? I should totally bring one of these Ishams over here. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to bring one of them all the way over to Perenna. So he can be like a backup, right? If we give him Earth Boots and then have him do something like... what am I thinking? Have him do something like Summon Earth Power, then he's Earth 5, and he can do Army of Gold. Easy peasy. So we'll have that as kind of like a backup scenario. But otherwise, we've got pretty much everything that we can do in this army. And yeah, that's it for the turn. Magic items, nothing crazy interesting. Not doing any crazy interesting, because again, we're just holding, right? Hopefully not much longer, 2-3 more turns. I'm really hopeful that his Astral Corruption caster, yeah, it's controlled by, oh, well, never mind. That tells you who it's controlled by. It doesn't tell you who casted it. I hope that it's his god, and I hope his god is in his capital, and that we obliterate him. Fingers crossed. That's going to be it for the turn. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.